I thought a good start to the week today. I liked our players' focus. Obviously now Wednesday becomes that much greater, but two players back, which was great to see on the practice field today, Riyad Jones and Mike Williams. So those two individuals, will they be game ready? I don't know yet. They've been out for a while, so it takes some time, but it was great just from an overall competitive standpoint to have them back. So I'll answer any questions. I know probably you guys have a lot of questions, so I'll answer any questions you may have.
Can you just talk about Fulmer back and talk about having him around the program?
It was great to have Coach Fulmer at practice today. He also spoke with the team and, had a great message for them. And, it's a pride of who we are. We're one Tennessee, 800-plus program wins. So to have him back, I think, meant a lot to everyone. Well, I think anytime you have a common opponent, it's better to gauge. And South Alabama's a really good football team. They have two quarterbacks who are outstanding. They present a lot of problems for you defensively, not only throwing the ball but running the football. Defensively, very, very good team speed, a lot of pressure. They're physical, extremely well coached. I've been really impressed, and we're gonna have to play a great football game. And I told you our margin of error with this football team is very slim, and so that's why this week of preparation is critical moving forward.
Is it harder to prepare for two quarterbacks when they can both run and kind of have the similar skill sets?
Right. It's really difficult to prepare for them because the different element that the quarterback brings to the table with being able to run and design run plays and read plays with a lead blocker, but also just scramble situations. They do a tremendous job in the scramble drill. A lot of their big plays have occurred off of scrambles, third and long situations. And so, that, like I said, they're a really good football team, very physical.
Can you talk about where Riyad and Mike were before they were sidelined with the injury?
It's been a while, but Mike had worked himself into the rotation, and he was pushing along with Riyad for playing time. And so, again, it may take a couple of weeks to really get them game ready, but I tell you what, I was encouraged by what I see, but it just lends itself to the overall depth, not just in the defensive backfield, but also in the special teams game as well.
What ended up being wrong with Riyad?
Well, everything is, is a blood clot, thought it was a blood clot, and, everything goes through a process, and we're going to err on the safety of the player, and so, to our training staff credit, just kept testing, and, got some outside consulting, and, so he was cleared today, which is great.
Did you expect him? I know you had always said he was going to be out a while. This is kind of a
Right.
surprise.
Well, you always, kind of look for the worst, and then if it happens, before or above that time frame, then it's always great, and we prepared for the worst. Now it's getting him back, not only in the game condition, but also mentally as well into our schemes and, in our habits and the fundamentals and the fine details of playing defensive back. But, his spirit has been outstanding, and I know he was very excited about it, so it was great to have him back.
How important is it to get either Raleigh or Joshua ready if something
Right.
happens?
Well, we have to get them ready, and each of them was one snap away. So, the volume of repetitions obviously increased today. And so getting them ready is going to be critical, but also getting Justin ready. Even though he started his freshman year, he's still relatively, new to this whole process. So, all three individuals, the value of repetitions and trying to create game speed repetitions are critical as well. But for the two freshmen, it's paramount.
Sorry. How close do you feel like they are where you're comfortable starting them into the game?
Well, it's a lot of unknowns. You'll never know until they get into the live game situations, and how can they handle, the stress that comes along with it, taking care of the football, the leadership, the functional intelligence that occurs from the classroom to the field to the game setting, but, we'll find out.
I saw Josh wearing a different jersey number today. Was he helping you a little bit with the scout team?
Both, yeah. That's the thing that, that we can't suffer is our scout team repetitions as well for our defense. So we rotated, the quarterbacks back and forth as well. But they can still gain, the valuable reps. But, that's something that, where we're at in the program, again, is they're going to have to still run some scout team as well.
Look how Justin responded mentally the last few days.
He's responded like, we expected. He's a warrior, he's a competitor, and he's done a good job.
Did you want to see more of a competitive spirit out of him with what happened last week? What do you think they kind of earned that?
Yeah, I thought, this was a challenge of his competitive character, see how he would respond, and I've really liked the way he's responded.
Coach, you talked about his challenge the offensive line and as it was that done the first 2 days of practice.
We challenge him today, but it's not just a one-day thing. You have to live toughness each and every day. It stems with your pad level again. It stems with running your feet. It stems with living physical each and every day, and that's going to be a process. But we need much more physicality out of them, a much more physical style of play. I said it in training camp, and it's an ongoing process, and you have to live that way each and every day. You have to practice it each and every day.
In a perfect world, how much would you like to see Riley or Josh for both in a game before the schedule gets back?
Right. I'm just worried about winning the football game. And with whoever it takes to win the football game, whatever we have to do, we have to do. We have to get to victory number 3. And that's really the way I'm looking at it. Is not we need to get him reps or him reps. We have to win the football game, and we have to have a mentality that we'll do whatever it takes because we're playing a very talented and well-coached, disciplined football team on Saturday.
Coach, do you ever use the term must win, especially looking at this game in order to get to a bowl game? Have you addressed that with the team at all?
My philosophy is every game's a must-win. In college football right now, there still is no playoff. So every game is critical. And one bad day can take you away from all your dreams, goals, and aspirations. So I approach every week like it's a must-win. There's no difference in our preparation this week than last week or the previous couple weeks.
How was Riyad's kind of, mindset throughout his own injury? Because junior college guys have a smaller window and
Right.
maybe get more frustrated when they tell him you got to sit out for a couple of weeks. How did he handle all that?
He's had a tremendous sense of urgency. He's been relentless in terms of getting back, doing everything that's been asked of him, and more so, he's one of those individuals who, I'd be going home at night and he'd be in the indoor running and working out. So he's done a good job with that.
And obviously, when he got hurt, it seemed like he had been a first teamer in the spring, and then I don't want to say hit a wall, but had some
Right.
had some issues or whatever earlier in camp. Can it almost be a good thing to sit back and take a break a little bit in a case like that to kind of clear your head? It seemed like things were bothering you.
Right. Well, I think it puts everything in perspective that you can never take this game for granted, and it can be taken from you at any point in time. So I think just making him realize that it is special being at the University of Tennessee. Football is a very special game, and it means a lot to him. And like I said, I love Riyad. I love his competitiveness. I love his spirit. So I think it's just good for our team to have him back.
Which, when you get a guy like Phil out there who's obviously won a national title and without giving away a lot, how do you guys interact with each other? Are you asking questions? Is it a fairly casual thing, or are you trying to pick his brain, or does he offer suggestions? How does that relationship kind of go?
Well, both. It's casual conversation, but anytime you have a resource, Coach Fulmer, we talk football. We talk a lot of football, just like with Coach Majors as well. I want to get as much information as I can, on football, on the University of Tennessee. They're great teams, and I think it's just we're all one, and it's just talking about our tradition, it's talking about our plans for the future, moving this program forward. So it's all that and above. And like I said, it's those relationships with these type of individuals really mean everything to me, because people make a place, and we have great people here, and to have them come back and watch practice and be a part of it, but also to have them around our players, I think it speaks volumes about how special this place is.
Is it fair to say it's more of an inspirational kind of thing than it might be an X's and O's kind of conversation?
Well, I think it's everything. It's a great resource. It's inspirational. It's friendship. I think, again, it's all of the above. I'm sorry?
No update on Cal.
No update on Mo Couch. Nope. You guys have a good night.